Welcome to the Artificial Fluency Podcast. I'm Emma.
I think that's a great point to consider because we always want to do what's best.
And today, we will explore one of the most crucial aspects of professional development, effective communication and workplace success strategies. This comprehensive 60-minute episode addresses the communication skills, professional vocabulary, and workplace competencies that intermediate English learners need to advance their careers and achieve professional excellence. Professional communication extends far beyond basic conversation skills. Today's global workplace demands sophisticated language abilities, cultural awareness, and strategic communication approaches that enable professionals to collaborate effectively, influence decision-making processes, and build meaningful business relationships across diverse organizational environments. Throughout this episode, we will examine essential professional vocabulary, explore effective meeting participation techniques, analyze email communication best practices, and discuss networking strategies that create career advancement opportunities. We will also address presentation skills, conflict resolution approaches, and leadership communication principles that distinguish successful professionals in competitive business environments. The content presented today applies directly to real workplace situations. Each communication strategy and vocabulary element serves practical purposes that you can implement immediately in professional settings. Whether you currently work in an English-speaking environment or plan to pursue international career opportunities, these skills will enhance your professional credibility and career prospects significantly. Professional vocabulary forms the foundation of effective workplace communication. Mastering business terminology enables clear expression of complex ideas, demonstrates professional competence, and facilitates precise communication with colleagues, clients, and stakeholders across various organizational levels. Essential business terms include strategic concepts that shape organizational decision-making processes. Strategic planning involves developing long-term organizational objectives and identifying methods to achieve these goals effectively. Implementation refers to the practical execution of planned strategies, while evaluation measures the success and effectiveness of implemented initiatives. These concepts appear frequently in professional discussions and require clear understanding for meaningful participation in business conversations. Project management vocabulary encompasses critical elements of workplace productivity and coordination. Project timelines establish completion schedules for various deliverables, while milestones mark significant achievement points throughout project development. Stakeholders represent individuals or groups with interests in project outcomes, and accountability refers to responsibility for specific results or deliverables. Resource allocation involves distributing available assets, including personnel, budget, and materials to achieve optimal project outcomes. Financial terminology appears consistently in business communications regardless of specific industry or role. Revenue represents income generated through business operations, while profit indicates the difference between revenue and operational expenses. Budget planning involves forecasting financial requirements and allocating resources accordingly. Return on investment measures the efficiency of financial expenditures in generating profitable outcomes. Cost effectiveness evaluates whether specific approaches provide adequate value relative to their expense requirements. Performance measurement vocabulary enables precise discussion of individual and organizational achievement levels. Key performance indicators establish measurable criteria for evaluating success in specific areas. Performance reviews provide formal assessments of employee contributions and development needs. Professional development encompasses activities designed to enhance skills, knowledge, and career advancement opportunities. Productivity measures the efficiency with which resources are converted into valuable outputs. Effective meeting participation requires specific communication skills and strategic approaches that maximize your contribution while demonstrating professional competence. Successful meeting participants prepare thoroughly, contribute meaningfully, and follow established protocols that facilitate productive discussions and decision-making processes. Pre-meeting preparation involves reviewing agenda items, researching relevant background information, and formulating potential contributions or questions. This preparation enables informed participation and demonstrates commitment to meeting objectives. Reviewing previous meeting minutes provides context for ongoing discussions and ensures continuity in collaborative efforts. During meetings, active listening skills become essential for understanding diverse perspectives and identifying opportunities for meaningful contribution. Effective listeners focus completely on speaker content, avoid formulating responses while others speak, and ask clarifying questions when necessary to ensure accurate comprehension. This approach demonstrates respect for colleagues and facilitates more productive collaborative discussions. Strategic speaking contributions require careful timing and appropriate content selection. Effective meeting participants wait for natural conversation breaks before introducing new topics or perspectives. They use transitional phrases such as building on that point or from a different perspective to connect their contributions to ongoing discussions. Concise, well-organized statements demonstrate respect for meeting time constraints and colleague attention spans. Question formulation skills enable participants to gather necessary information while advancing meeting objectives. Open-ended questions such as, "What factors should we consider when evaluating this proposal?" encourage comprehensive discussion and collaborative problem-solving. Clarifying questions like, "Could you elaborate on the implementation timeline?" ensure accurate understanding of complex topics. Strategic questions can redirect discussions toward productive outcomes when conversations become unfocused or contentious. Meeting follow-up activities extend productive collaboration beyond formal session boundaries. Effective participants summarize action items, confirm deadlines and responsibilities, and provide additional resources or information when promised during discussions. This follow-through demonstrates reliability and commitment to collaborative success. Email communication represents a fundamental professional skill that requires careful attention to tone, structure, and content organization. Professional emails must balance efficiency with clarity while maintaining appropriate formality levels for different recipients and situations. Email structure follows established conventions that facilitate efficient communication and professional presentation. Subject lines should clearly indicate message content and urgency level, enabling recipients to prioritize their responses appropriately. For example, meeting request, project timeline discussion, response needed by Friday provide specific information that helps recipients understand both content and time sensitivity. Reviewing previous meeting minutes provides context for ongoing discussions and ensures continuity in collaborative efforts. During meetings, active listening skills become essential for understanding diverse perspectives and identifying opportunities for meaningful contribution. Effective listeners focus completely on speaker content, avoid formulating responses while others speak, and ask clarifying questions when necessary to ensure accurate comprehension. This approach demonstrates respect for colleagues and facilitates more productive collaborative discussions. Strategic speaking contributions require careful timing and appropriate content selection. Effective meeting participants wait for natural conversation breaks before introducing new topics or perspectives. They use transitional phrases such as building on that point or from a different perspective to connect their contributions to ongoing discussions. Concise, well-organized statements demonstrate respect for meeting time constraints and colleague attention spans. Question formulation skills enable participants to gather necessary information while advancing meeting objectives. Open-ended questions such as, "What factors should we consider when evaluating this proposal?" encourage comprehensive discussion and collaborative problem-solving. Clarifying questions like, "Could you elaborate on the implementation timeline?" ensure accurate understanding of complex topics. Strategic questions can redirect discussions toward productive outcomes when conversations become unfocused or contentious. Meeting follow-up activities extend productive collaboration beyond formal session boundaries. Effective participants summarize action items, confirm deadlines and responsibilities, and provide additional resources or information when promised during discussions. This follow-through demonstrates reliability and commitment to collaborative success. Email communication represents a fundamental professional skill that requires careful attention to tone, structure, and content organization. Professional emails must balance efficiency with clarity while maintaining appropriate formality levels for different recipients and situations. Email structure follows established conventions that facilitate efficient communication and professional presentation. Subject lines should clearly indicate message content and urgency level, enabling recipients to prioritize their responses appropriately. For example, meeting request, project timeline discussion, response needed by Friday provides specific information that helps recipients understand both content and time sensitivity. Opening greetings establish appropriate tone and relationship acknowledgement. Dear Mr. Johnson maintains formal courtesy for external communications or hierarchical relationships, while Hi Sarah reflects appropriate informality for familiar colleagues. The greeting selection should consider organizational culture, relationship dynamics, and communication context. Message body organization enhances clarity and professional presentation. Effective emails begin with a clear statement of purpose, such as, I am writing to request your feedback on the proposed marketing strategy. This introduction enables recipients to understand message objectives immediately. Supporting details follow in logical sequence, with the most important information presented first. Closing statements should include clear next steps or action requirements. Phrases like, please confirm your availability by Wednesday, or I look forward to your thoughts on this proposal, provide specific guidance for recipient responses. Professional closing such as best regards or sincerely maintain appropriate formality while expressing courtesy. Email tone requires careful calibration to convey appropriate levels of formality, urgency, and respect. Professional emails avoid overly casual language, excessive punctuation, or emotional expressions that may be misinterpreted in written communication. Positive language and constructive framing help maintain professional relationships even when addressing challenging topics or requesting assistance. Emma. Presentation skills enable professionals to communicate complex information effectively to diverse audiences while establishing credibility and influencing decision-making processes. Successful presentations combine clear content organization, engaging delivery techniques, and audience-focused messaging that achieves specific communication objectives. Content development begins with thorough audience analysis to determine appropriate information depth, vocabulary selection, and presentation format. Understanding audience expertise levels, interest areas, and decision-making authority enables presenters to tailor content effectively. Technical audiences may require detailed methodology explanations, while executive audiences often prefer high-level summaries with clear business implications. Presentation structure follows proven organizational patterns that facilitate audience comprehension and retention. The introduction should establish context, present clear objectives, and provide a roadmap for subsequent content. Today, I will examine 3 key factors that influence our market position and recommend specific strategies for competitive advantage. Gives audiences clear expectations for presentation content and outcomes. Main content sections should develop logically with smooth transitions between topics. Effective presenters use signposting language such as, moving to our second consideration, or this leads us to examine, to guide audience attention and maintain coherent information flow. Each section should support overall presentation objectives with relevant evidence, examples, or analysis. Visual aids enhance presentation effectiveness when designed and utilized appropriately. Slides should complement rather than duplicate spoken content, using graphics, charts, or bullet points to highlight key information. Effective presenters maintain eye contact with audiences rather than reading directly from slides, using visual aids as support tools rather than presentation scripts. Conclusion sections should summarize key points, reinforce main messages, and provide clear next steps or recommendations. Strong conclusions connect presentation content to audience interests and organizational objectives, demonstrating the practical value of presented information. Networking strategies enable professionals to build meaningful business relationships that support career advancement, knowledge sharing, and collaborative opportunities. Effective networking extends beyond simple contact collection to encompass genuine relationship development and mutual value creation. Strategic networking begins with clear objective identification. Professional networking goals might include industry knowledge expansion, career opportunity exploration, mentorship relationship development, or business partnership creation. Clear objectives guide networking approaches and help evaluate relationship development success. Networking preparation involves developing concise personal introductions that communicate professional background, current objectives, and potential value contributions. An effective elevator pitch might state, "I am a marketing analyst specializing in consumer behavior research, currently exploring digital marketing trends in the retail sector." This introduction provides specific information that enables meaningful conversation development. Conversation initiation at networking events requires genuine interest in others rather than immediate self-promotion. Effective networkers ask thoughtful questions about others' professional experiences, industry perspectives, or current projects. Questions such as, "What trends are you observing in your industry?" demonstrate genuine interest and often lead to engaging professional discussions. Value exchange principles guide sustainable networking relationships. Effective networkers seek opportunities to provide assistance, share relevant information, or make useful introductions for their contacts. This approach creates mutual benefit rather than one-sided relationship exploitation, leading to stronger professional connections over time. Follow-up communication maintains networking momentum and demonstrates professional courtesy. Effective follow-up messages reference specific conversation points and suggest concrete next steps such as information sharing, meeting scheduling, or introduction facilitation. Timely follow-up within 1 week of initial contact maintains relationship continuity and demonstrates genuine interest in ongoing professional connection. Conflict resolution skills enable professionals to navigate workplace disagreements constructively while maintaining positive relationships and achieving productive outcomes. Effective conflict resolution requires emotional intelligence, strategic communication, and collaborative problem-solving approaches that address underlying issues rather than superficial symptoms. Conflict identification involves recognizing early warning signs of disagreement before situations escalate into significant workplace disruptions. These signs might include decreased collaboration, communication avoidance, or subtle expressions of frustration during meetings. Early intervention enables more effective resolution with less potential for relationship damage or productivity loss. Active listening becomes particularly crucial during conflict situations. Effective conflict resolution requires understanding all perspectives thoroughly before proposing solutions. This involves listening for underlying concerns, emotional needs, and practical requirements that may not be explicitly stated. Paraphrasing techniques such as, "If I understand correctly, you are concerned about," demonstrate genuine attention to others' viewpoints. Neutral language helps de-escalate tensions while maintaining focus on issue resolution rather than personal attribution. Instead of saying, "You always interrupt during meetings," more effective phrasing might be, "I would like to ensure everyone has opportunities to share their perspectives." This approach addresses behavior concerns without creating defensive responses. Solution-focused discussions emphasize collaborative problem-solving rather than blame assignment. Effective mediators guide conversations towards identifying mutually acceptable outcomes and implementation strategies. Questions such as, "What would need to happen for this to work for everyone involved?" encourage creative thinking and collaborative resolution development. Documentation and follow-up ensure that agreed-upon solutions are implemented effectively, and relationship recovery continues beyond initial resolution discussions. This might involve written summaries of agreements, scheduled check-in meetings, or ongoing support for relationship rebuilding efforts. Leadership communication encompasses the advanced communication skills required to influence others, facilitate team collaboration, and drive organizational change effectively. Leadership communication extends beyond positional authority to include inspirational messaging, strategic vision articulation, and team motivation techniques. Vision communication requires the ability to articulate organizational objectives in compelling ways that motivate team commitment and individual contribution. Effective leaders translate abstract strategic concepts into concrete benefits and outcomes that resonate with diverse team members. For example, instead of simply stating, "We need to improve customer satisfaction," a leader might explain, "By enhancing our customer experience, we create loyalty that drives sustainable growth and provides job security for our entire team." Delegation skills involve clear communication of expectations, responsibilities, and success criteria while providing appropriate support and autonomy. Effective delegation includes specific task descriptions, quality standards, deadline requirements, and available resources. Leaders also establish check-in schedules and feedback mechanisms that ensure project success without micromanagement interference. Motivational communication techniques help leaders inspire peak performance and maintain team engagement during challenging periods. This includes recognition of individual contributions, celebration of team achievements, and honest communication about obstacles while maintaining confidence in eventual success. Effective leaders balance realistic assessment of challenges with optimistic messaging about team capabilities and potential outcomes. Change management communication requires leaders to address natural resistance while building support for organizational transitions. This involves explaining change rationales, acknowledging concerns and challenges, providing clear implementation timelines, and offering support resources for adaptation. Effective change communication maintains transparency while building confidence in positive outcomes. Feedback delivery skills enable leaders to provide constructive guidance that promotes professional development without damaging self-confidence or motivation. Effective feedback combines specific behavioral observations with clear improvement suggestions and ongoing support offers. This approach promotes continuous learning and performance enhancement throughout the organization. Cross-cultural communication competencies have become essential for professionals working in increasingly diverse and globalized business environments. Understanding cultural differences in communication styles, business practices, and relationship expectations enables more effective collaboration and prevents misunderstandings that can damage professional relationships. Cultural communication styles vary significantly across different regions and backgrounds. Some cultures prefer direct communication that explicitly states positions and requirements, while others employ indirect approaches that rely on context and implication. Understanding these differences enables professionals to adapt their communication approaches for maximum effectiveness with diverse colleagues and clients. Business relationship development follows different patterns across various cultural contexts. Some cultures prioritize relationship building before business discussions, requiring time investment in personal connection and trust development. Others prefer efficiency-focused approaches that address business objectives immediately. Recognizing these preferences enables appropriate adaptation without violating cultural expectations. Meeting dynamics and decision-making processes also reflect cultural variations. Some cultures emphasize hierarchical respect and formal protocols, while others encourage open debate and collaborative decision-making regardless of organizational position. Understanding these expectations enables effective participation and contribution in diverse business environments. Nonverbal communication patterns vary significantly across cultures and can either support or undermine verbal communication effectiveness. Eye contact expectations, personal space requirements, and gesture meanings differ substantially between cultures. Awareness of these differences prevents unintentional offense and enables more positive cross-cultural interactions. Time orientation concepts influence scheduling, deadline approaches, and long-term planning perspectives across different cultures. Some cultures prioritize punctuality and precise scheduling, while others maintain flexible approaches to timing and deadlines. Understanding these differences enables effective project planning and relationship management in multicultural environments. Professional development planning requires strategic approaches to skill enhancement, career advancement, and market value optimization. Effective professionals continuously assess their competencies, identify improvement opportunities, and implement learning strategies that align with career objectives and industry trends. Skills assessment involves honest evaluation of current capabilities relative to career requirements and industry standards. This includes technical competencies, communication abilities, leadership potential, and specialized knowledge areas. Regular self-assessment enables identification of strengths to leverage and weaknesses to address through targeted development efforts. Goal-setting strategies help professionals establish clear development objectives with measurable outcomes and realistic timelines. Effective professional goals follow SMART criteria: specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. For example, complete advanced project management certification within 6 months to qualify for senior project manager positions provides clear direction and success criteria. Learning opportunities encompass formal education, professional training, mentorship relationships, and experiential learning through challenging assignments. Effective professionals diversify their development approaches to include classroom learning, online courses, industry conferences, and practical application opportunities that reinforce theoretical knowledge with real-world experience. Industry engagement through professional associations, conferences, and thought leadership activities enhances visibility while expanding knowledge and network connections. Active participation in industry discussions demonstrates expertise and commitment while providing access to emerging trends and best practices. Performance tracking mechanisms enable professionals to monitor development progress and adjust strategies as needed. This might include regular skill assessments, feedback collection from colleagues and supervisors, and achievement documentation that supports career advancement discussions and opportunities. Emma. Digital communication platforms have transformed professional interaction patterns while creating new requirements for effective virtual collaboration and relationship management. Modern professionals must master various technological tools while adapting traditional communication principles to digital environments. Video conferencing effectiveness requires technical preparation, professional presentation, and engagement strategies that overcome virtual communication limitations. This includes ensuring reliable technology, appropriate lighting and background setup, and clear audio quality. Professional video communication also involves maintaining eye contact with cameras rather than screens and using gestures and expressions that translate effectively through video technology. Instant messaging and chat platforms enable rapid communication while requiring careful attention to tone and context. Professional instant messaging should maintain appropriate formality levels, avoid understandable abbreviations, and include sufficient context for clear understanding. These platforms work best for quick clarifications and coordination rather than complex discussions that benefit from voice or face-to-face communication. Collaborative platforms and project management tools facilitate team coordination across geographic and time zone boundaries. Effective use requires understanding platform capabilities, establishing clear protocols for information sharing and updates, and maintaining consistent participation in virtual team activities. These tools enhance productivity when used strategically, but can create information overload without appropriate management. Social media professional presence enables personal branding and industry engagement while requiring careful attention to content appropriateness and professional image management. Professional social media strategies focus on industry insights, thought leadership, and networking rather than personal information sharing. Consistent messaging across platforms builds credibility and professional recognition. Digital etiquette principles guide appropriate behavior across various online professional environments. This includes response time expectations, information sharing protocols, and privacy consideration for others. Understanding digital communication norms prevents professional relationship damage while maximizing online collaboration effectiveness. Customer service communication represents specialized professional skills that directly impact organizational success and personal career advancement. Excellence in customer interaction requires empathy, problem-solving abilities, and communication techniques that transform challenging situations into positive outcomes. Customer needs assessment involves active listening skills that identify both explicit requests and underlying concerns. Effective customer service professionals ask clarifying questions, paraphrase customer statements to confirm understanding, and demonstrate genuine interest in achieving satisfactory resolutions. This approach builds trust while gathering information necessary for effective problem-solving. Problem-solving communication requires clear explanation of available options, realistic timeline expectations, and next-step coordination. Customers appreciate transparency about limitations while expecting creative approaches to challenge resolution. Effective communication maintains optimism while providing honest assessment of potential outcomes and implementation requirements. Difficult conversation management enables professionals to address complaints, disputes, or dissatisfaction while maintaining positive relationships and identifying resolution pathways. This requires emotional regulation, empathetic responses, and strategic communication that acknowledges concerns while working toward mutually acceptable solutions. Follow-up communication demonstrates commitment to customer satisfaction beyond initial interaction resolution. Effective follow-up includes confirmation that solutions met expectations, additional support offers, and relationship maintenance that encourages continued business relationships. This attention to ongoing satisfaction creates customer loyalty and positive organizational reputation. Escalation protocols enable appropriate involvement of additional resources when situations exceed individual capability or authority levels. Professional escalation involves clear situation summaries, previous resolution attempts documentation, and seamless transition to colleagues with appropriate expertise or decision-making authority. Crisis communication requires immediate response capabilities and strategic messaging that maintains stakeholder confidence while addressing emergency situations effectively. Crisis communication skills enable professionals to manage unexpected challenges while protecting organizational reputation and stakeholder relationships. Rapid response protocols establish communication procedures for various emergency scenarios. Effective crisis communication begins with accurate information gathering, stakeholder identification, and message priority determination. Quick response demonstrates competence while preventing speculation and misinformation that can escalate crisis situations. Transparency principles guide information sharing decisions during crisis situations. Effective crisis communication balances honesty about challenges with confidence in resolution capabilities. This involves acknowledging problems without creating unnecessary panic while providing regular updates that maintain stakeholder trust and confidence. Stakeholder communication requires tailored messaging for different audiences with varying information needs and concerns. Employees need operational guidance and job security reassurance, while customers require service continuation information. Investors focus on financial impact assessment and recovery planning details. Message consistency across all communication channels prevents confusion and maintains credibility during challenging periods. This requires coordination among team members and careful documentation of approved messaging to ensure uniform information sharing across different stakeholder groups and communication platforms. Recovery communication focuses on lessons learned, improvement implementation, and future prevention strategies. Effective post-crisis communication demonstrates organizational learning and commitment to avoiding similar situations while rebuilding stakeholder confidence in long-term stability and competence. Innovation communication enables professionals to present creative ideas effectively while building support for change initiatives and new approaches. Innovation communication requires strategic presentation of novel concepts that address stakeholder concerns while highlighting potential benefits and implementation strategies. Idea development involves thorough research and analysis that supports creative proposals with evidence and logical reasoning. Effective innovation communication combines creative vision with practical implementation planning, demonstrating both imagination and realistic assessment of requirements and challenges. Stakeholder buy-in requires understanding different audience priorities and concerns regarding change initiatives. Some stakeholders focus on cost implications, others emphasize risk management, and still others prioritize competitive advantage potential. Effective innovation communication addresses these varied concerns while maintaining enthusiasm for creative possibilities. Pilot program proposals enable gradual implementation that reduces risk while demonstrating concept viability. Communication about pilot programs should include clear success metrics, timeline expectations, and expansion criteria that guide future decision-making. This approach builds confidence while providing evidence for broader implementation decisions. Change management communication helps organizations navigate innovation implementation while maintaining productivity and employee engagement. This involves explanation of benefits, training provision, and ongoing support that facilitates smooth transition to new approaches or technologies. Continuous improvement communication emphasizes learning from innovation attempts, regardless of immediate success levels. This approach encourages ongoing creativity while building organizational culture that supports calculated risk-taking and continuous development. This approach builds confidence while providing evidence for broader implementation decisions. Change management communication helps organizations navigate innovation implementation while maintaining productivity and employee engagement. This involves explanation of benefits, training provision, and ongoing support that facilitates smooth transition to new approaches or technologies. Continuous improvement communication emphasizes learning from innovation attempts regardless of immediate success levels. This approach encourages ongoing creativity while building organizational culture that supports calculated risk-taking and continuous development. Today, we have explored comprehensive professional communication strategies that enable career advancement and workplace success in competitive business environments. These communication competencies distinguish exceptional professionals while creating opportunities for leadership development and organizational contribution. The vocabulary, techniques, and strategies discussed today apply directly to real workplace situations across diverse industries and organizational structures. Whether you currently work in an English-speaking environment or plan to pursue international career opportunities, these skills will enhance your professional credibility and create advancement possibilities. Professional communication excellence requires continuous practice and refinement. Regular application of these techniques in workplace situations builds confidence while developing intuitive understanding of appropriate communication approaches for different contexts and audiences. Remember that effective professional communication combines technical competence with emotional intelligence and cultural awareness. The most successful professionals adapt their communication styles to meet audience needs while maintaining authenticity and personal integrity throughout their interactions. I encourage you to implement these strategies gradually while observing their impact on your professional relationships and career advancement opportunities. Professional communication skills develop through practice and experience, creating cumulative benefits that compound over time. Thank you for joining me for this comprehensive exploration of professional communication and workplace success strategies. Continue developing these essential skills while pursuing excellence in your chosen career path. This is Emma from Artificial Fluency, reminding you that professional communication excellence opens doors to opportunities while building the relationships that sustain long-term career success.